Welcome to the wee hours of the night. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and I come this morning to talk to you about light. If you look around, you'll see that for the first time in a long time that I have done this video broadcast, this podcast, this vlog, or whatever we coming to you in. And it's a lot of light around me. And the reason for it is to talk about light today is because in the wee hours of the morning, it's hard to, when we in darkness, it's hard to turn on the lights. It's hard to get out the bed in the morning. It's hard to try to come to the light. And the light is the progress and the process that when we in darkness, when we going through depression and we having suicidal thoughts and we going through, that's the hardest part to actually get to. Because getting to the light means that you actually coming out. When you are able to go out the door and you able to open up the windows and you able to come out the bedroom and sit in the light with windows open and doors open and being able to sit on the porch or things like that, you actually coming out. You actually coming through. You coming out. And then coming out, you got some steps to take. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a person who actually coming to you with diagnosis or coming to you trying to, but I'm a person who have been through this and been through it, going through it. I kind of process the understanding of what it is to be in darkness, what it is to be going through depression, oppression, suicidal thoughts, feelings of worthlessness, anxiety, and all the other things that come with being in a place in your life. And this morning I come to you with light, but it's called I Rise. I Rise. This it's not a movement, but it's a place in life where you gotta rise through. And I rise, say that I rise in. When I'm in depression, when I'm in cocaine addiction, when I'm in heroin addiction, when I'm in opioid addiction, when I'm in anxiety, when I'm in feelings of worthlessness, when I am in alcoholism and sexual addictions, gambling addictions, and all the other things, when I'm cancer and bipolar disorder, social media bullying and AIDS viruses. When I'm in all these things and I'm going through all these things, I have to be able to rise through it. And then rising through depression, rising through pain, rising through all the things, at some point, as it attack you, you gotta attack it. And the reason I'm talking about attacking it is not on the level of saying, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I mean that because nobody understands that when you in a type of addiction, it actually attacks your body. It attacks when you're in mental health crisis. It attacks your mind, and in it, whatever in you comes out you. You know, when you're in anger is a point where people don't understand how mad you are because you just mad and you don't know why. You just mad, and then anything that comes to you that triggers these emotions, it don't allow you to actually function as everybody else functioning. And in that, you don't really know what to do and how to actually get through it. So I ain't gonna say I'm a life coach, but I understood that as I went through all these things I went through it from about 8 to 12 years. And the reason I said it, I saw my son go through it. I saw my other family members go through it. I saw friends go through it. I saw associates go through it. I saw co-workers go through it. And everybody went through it different. So I kind of studied it while I was going through it. I actually did. I don't have nothing to say. I put it on paper, but I put it in my mind. I understood that I didn't just go through this for me. I ain't watch other people go through it so I could be bitter, which I was, that I could stay in that state of mind. But I went through it so that I could share with other people how to actually come out and actually how to go through it. And so the campaign that we have now in wee hours of the night is called I Rise. I rise in, I rise through, and I rise above my mental disability, my mental incapability, and my mental disorder. I rise in depression. I rise through depression, and I rise above depression. I rise in cocaine addiction. I rise through cocaine addiction, and I rise above cocaine addiction. And it go for heroin, it go for opioid use, it go for anxiety, it go for each and everything that we actually cover as we do on the wee hours of the night, the wee hours of the morning, and the wee hours of the day. Because the reason we taking it a little bit further than just wee hours of the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, we know we going through because we can't sleep. And the sleep that we have, we are bombarded with demonic, satanic, and evil forces. We are bombarded with our thoughts. We're bombarded with all the things that we can't talk to people about in the daytime. We can't tell them. We can't tell them about what we actually going through because we laughed at. We talked about. We ashamed of it, and people just think we just all out crazy, but we're not. We're going through a point in our lives that no, it's not comfortable. No, it's not worthy of social media, or it's worthy of conversation with friends, co-workers, even family members. But we going through it so somebody else can come out. Had I not went through it, then I would not be able to come to you and to tell you on what happened to me. Because all the shame that was associated with it, all the regret, all the things that actually bombarded me in going through would not have allowed me to just use this as a platform. And the reason I'm so careful, I'm on the desk today that every time I touch the desk, it shakes the camera. So, and I'm being so careful because you know this raw. This is raw. That's just a phone with me recording. So I don't have no elaborate camera system and this and that because this the wee hours of the night. This just a raw podcast with a person who went through. And I want to say this to all the professional people and all, because I'm a master electrician. And I got a lot of titles. I was a pastor for a whole bunch of years. And being a pastor, think about it, being a pastor going through depression. You got all these other people that you actually have to listen to, you have to minister to, you have to talk to, you have to do a lot with and interact with. Having your own children. I had at that time my children was babies. They was little, and my other ones was old. But you still have to function. I'm talking to all the ones that's got to go to work, all the ones that got to take your children to school and come back and lock up in that room and lock up in that house. I'm talking to all the ones who got to go to work and put on the front because you got to go through all this. But listen, I got to tell you, you got to pray. You got to ask God for help because your help got to come through the Lord. Yeah, you might have to take your medicine. Yeah, you got to take this or you got to do this. But add God to it. Add the Lord to it. Add Jesus. Add God. Because in going through, your coming out is so meaningful. And it being meaningful because you somebody that as you went through, somebody want to know how you got through it because they might be going through it. They might be in the beginning stages of depression. They might be in the beginning stages of suicidal thoughts. They might be in the beginning stages of anxiety. They might be in the beginning stages. So you don't know who it is and who it's going to affect. But in going through it and coming out it, somebody need to know. See, as a community, a black community, or a white community, or Asian community, it don't really matter what our race or our ethnic group is. It targets everybody. It targets anybody. It targets our children. It targets our wives, our family members, our friends, our co-workers. Don't matter what your title is or what it is. It don't matter if you're a professional and you're a scientist or a street sweeper. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're a judge or you're a police officer. It don't matter. It don't matter because one thing about this thing called life, it brings all kind of actual it changes. It brings all kind of things that come that we don't really have control over. But in not having control over it, we can rise through it though. We can rise above it. We can rise because this campaign that we are having now is called I Rise. You gotta rise. You gotta get up. You gotta get up and open the windows. You gotta get up. Even if you can't have the windows open for about 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 minutes, it don't matter at a time, but you gotta rise. And you gotta face it. The hardest thing about it, nobody don't understand when you're going through depression, is how it hurt. I understand how it hurt. It hurts so bad. It hurt. People don't understand the pain that comes with it. The attack that's on your body, there's an attack that's on your mind. The attack that come through, they call us lazy, they call us this, they call us that, but we not. It's because the chemical imbalance in us, we don't understand and we can't control. So a lot of times we don't seek help because we don't want nobody to know it. But you have to seek help. You have to go to someone that know a lot more than you. A doctor, a psychiatrist, a friend, a coworker, somebody that you know that won't put your business in the street, because we are ashamed of being labeled crazy. We're ashamed of being labeled all these other things that social media might label us, or people might label us, or people take our kindness for a weakness and put our business in the street. You have to understand that now that you must fight through this. You must get through it. And in getting through it, you have to come out and you have to see. When people going through different things, they call it coming out. So you in a